Hello everyone. Today's talk is playfully titled, When Blind Men See. And of course I will be communicating about the nature of our reality and what it means that many people have acknowledged that it's an illusion. You know, they've said there's an elusive sense of reality in regards to what perception is. And so it's very important to see that a blind man can be in different ways. Where one aspect of its blindness, it's as if it is not here. It's as if it was never here, regardless of what it's seeing. And there's one aspect of its blindness where it was here, and it knows itself it was here, but it was here differently than how it was. And so how these open to you suggests to you whether you feel that you get excited by the concept of past lives, or you get interested by the concept of future lives. There needs to be the distinction and the fact that how you're being aware of things is really giving you also another sense of how the relationship is. So suddenly that moment where I woke up from the dream, that relationship, that awareness to me waking up from a dream was a relationship all on its own, regardless of two different relationships changing. Where there's the reality of the dream and there's also the reality of the person who's awake. So in considering a sense of wakefulness, then we are put in a position where we may think that we're not completely awake. So when you're aware of the concept of being awake, you're like, am I really awake? And so that doubt is actually not from you. It is as if ideology is playing its own game and you're just so keenly looking at it that you're forgetting who you are. Your awareness is a sense of presence to everything. Now, I want to approach it like this because we don't want to just talk about any form of blindness. We want to talk about certain forms of blindness that it is blindness because of its appearance, but as the appearance becomes less relevant, through that irrelevancy, there is a new appearance which turns into sight. And so it's very important because blindness can be the fact that you are still thinking that you're something. But the fact that you're nothing, it doesn't mean that you're not nothing. It simply means that the way, the fashion of your reality is presented is one where it's as if it wants to be in a certain way, so you're letting it. But it's very important to see that it's not that the individual finds himself free. It's that the individual, through his collective knowing, is free. It's that moment where there was no longer a slave, but an awareness to a person who never had to be a slave. It's that moment where you realize you never had to be in the condition, in the circumstance, in that limited conception of yourself, because you're always a new ability to be aware of a greater potential. So you're always learning from your mistakes, and in learning, you're becoming a wiser being. So living in life, regardless of how much you've read or not, just the fact that you're living and your awareness to this life has been wisdom. And that is why we can all walk after some point comfortably, Now, it's very important to see that you need to take an existential responsibility of being an explorer and a sense of finder, a sense of revealer, a sense of one of the first people taking a step into a realm where no one has. And it's not that reality is just all things that are, it's not that only mountains are physical. There's just mountains of thought, ideology, and how conception even presents itself. These are, it's as if when we look at the dynamics of the individual mind, there's an infinite spectrum. So in other words, when we think, where can I go? You can go to infinity. Literally, you can. But of course, not understood in the same way as it is now. We are too stuck on certain ideologies in this part of the world that certainty is limited to human communication, when certainty should be based on all life communication, your whole moment of being as being present with all moments of being. The fact that me and you think we're having separate moments is at times could be also seen as how the fingers have an individual experience but the palm is holding it. So what is the palm between me and you? Well, it is existence, and then it is a moment of awareness, which is that existence. So we are, in a sense, moments of awareness before we are meant. And so moments of awareness must have an awareness. You must have a self-awareness. You must look around. You must realize that all is possible, and that is why your mind is fluid. You are no longer in the realm of impossibility or can't or cannot. Science is really, it presents itself to be wondrous, something that's discovering the unknown, but it is accepting too much too soon without an awareness that the experiencer is not of only this dimension. So the fact that it's as if we are looking through this 3D and 4D sense, but we are actually not originating the experience from here. And that is why it's like a sense of remembrance. It's a sense of reunion. It's like that sense of love, where as if you're going back into a state of more existential allowance and being what it is that you are. Therefore, begin to allow yourself to be a sense of new in your moment. And you always are. Your moment is new for you, and that is why it is space. It's as if people have moved the big object in the room, so now you can walk in it. So be aware of your sense of presence. Be aware of your sense of present here and now, and all that. Too much Buddhism has been saying. In a very profound manner, of course. There is a need to step beyond need, to see what you are beyond an idea. And I hope that you do this with sincerity, with authenticity, and with the knowing that regardless of what you do, you are. Much blessings and namaste.